Alright, so let's start a small session of vibe coding. I will try to create a MCP server for the API of Beehiiv, which is a mailing platform, a newsletter platform. And we will see how it goes with Cursor. So let's start by looking at the documentation. So I want first the model context protocol as TypeScript. So I'll copy the link. Okay, I want to add some context. So here's the documentation. I should start alter as well. Here's the documentation. Okay, stop. It's not taking it as a link. Why, we don't know. So maybe you want only GitHub links. So let's take the GitHub repository for Beehiiv as well. Yeah. Okay, and we also want, so do we have some request advanced? So I want the API reference for Beehiiv. Especially I want to handle first a way to create posts on the platform. So let's see here, webhook, no, this is the first task. I want the MCP to handle. Starting a build of alter as well because I want to use dictation during this session. Sorry, I haven't prepared anything, so you're really live with me. And alter is built. Cool. No, don't want to record the transcript. We are coding here. Alright, I want to build a MCP server for the Beehiiv API. The first thing you need to do is the ability to create posts on the platform. So you need to handle an API key, and for that you have all the documentation below. Make sure to use TypeScript and maybe add some tests that we can run just to check if your repository is well. So let's start and see how it will bootstrap the project. So for information, I tried exactly the same thing with Manus and it just didn't work. So I'm trying this with Cursor to see the difference and see if it's able to make most of the work without me having the need to code some part of the project. So that's interesting. Is going to create the project, but it seems it's stuck for any reason. So continue. So let's create a Node.js project. That's okay. You want to install the SDK from Anthropic called Modex Context Protocol. We need it, so that's okay. It will install Zod. Schema validation, we need it. TypeScript as well. TS node to run. So everything you want to install, I'm okay with it. We need the Beehiiv SDK as well, so that's okay. Let's go. Oh, he's not able to find the SDK, so I will try to find it for him. Actually, the command is this one. So no, instead here the good. So I think it will be better. So that's already crazy. I mean, I gave the documentation, the link where you can see that you need to do the command npm install, and he wasn't able to to see it. So that pretty much says the state of AI at the moment. It's really great, but sometimes you don't know why. For simple things, it's just crashing. Look, so imagine just an agent trying to do all the work for you, starting from a pull request, for example. I believe we are not at a state where it can work unless your project is already well set, maybe. Okay, run command. So that one, it's cool. I'm okay with this dependency. Okay. So I will run the command elsewhere. Maybe I can start the terminal here. So let's see if we are able to run. Okay. So what's happening here? Unable to compile TypeScript. What's happening? Oh, yeah, this expression is not callable. So again, so he's using the documentation link. He should be able to see the examples. Let's see if it works. So show me the files. Agree with that. and let's try again. Still not. Have to chat, still not working. So this is basically vibe coding. Vibe coding is you ask some stuff. Basically, you don't know anything about, you may know some stuff about developing, but that's not the point. You're trying just to brute force your way to work in code. And that's why a lot of people like it. You just ask it, you throw the errors to the AI, and the AI tries to solve it for you. So basically, you're just hoping and crossing your fingers that it will work. So I'm just, okay, we are kind of looping here. It's just doing the same stuff he had previously. So I will need to check the documentation to see how we should instantiate Beehiiv. So I believe this is not the way to do this. So let's look at the documentation while it's doing its work. So new Beehiiv client. So this is the example it should follow. Token, your token. So I don't know why is lost here. It's me. Basically, it means two things. Either cursor while parsing the documentation make you think is able to get the information from the link I gave it to, but actually it's not doing a good work of extracting this information. Or I put too much information to the context window with the free links about the documentation about the Montel context protocol, the documentation about Beehiiv, both the SDK and the reference API, and maybe it just lost. So I will help him here. Here how it works. Here how it works. This is an example from the SDK. I think you should follow it. What's happening with Alter? Wow. It was very slow, but anyway, okay. So I'm using also Gemini 2.5 experimental to see how it goes. This is the first time I really use it on a project. More used to Claude, either 3.5 or 3.7, especially 3.5. I know how it behaves, but I don't know about the Gemini, so we'll see. Okay, let's accept. I don't care. I'm vibe coding. Let's see it goes. I will try to npm run dev again, and boom, doesn't work again. So you see how we can enter a loop of bad vibe coding actually. So what's happening now? It's still unable to compile, create post schema, and so we don't have the same error. I think it's about types this time. And again, I'm almost not reading the output of the terminal, and I'm just putting this in the chat and say, okay, can you fix this? I don't care, just fix it, okay? And I mean, I'm asking him the question. I shouldn't have it. I should just say, okay, fix. Come on, you can do it. I'm sure. So let's see. I will accept. Again, it's variables. I should also maybe add a cursor role to tell him like, shut up, I just want a solution. Don't explain to me, because I'm not even reading it. I'm not really learning from creating this project at the moment. So basically I could tell him, come on, just put the code, be as fast as possible, and I just want to have some results. So let's see. That's pretty good this time. So it's missing a Beehiiv API key or publication ID, so we'll see later. But first I want to maybe add some tests just to see how it goes. Okay, can you add some tests around the create post feature? That's cool. And while I'm creating this, I will go and create a Beehiiv API key. So I will blur this stuff while I'm doing it. Beehiiv. So where can I create a key? Webhook. Okay, API. So create a new empty vibe coding session. So if you guys get it, no worries, it will be deleted after this session. So what he's doing? Okay, he's still mocking the stuff. I will create a new file. And what was the, what's this AP key? Okay, and Beehiiv publication key. Cool. And the identification key, publication ID. So we'll try to be up to date with the latest API v2. Save that. npm run test. Now let's go. npm test. What's happening? Failed. Interesting. So what's happening? Server tool. Again, should not. Tool execution overload. Okay. So come on, add to chat and can you fix the test? So what's interesting here and why I asked it to generate a test suite is to see how to use the library and make sure that he understands the two SDK. So accept all again, I don't care, and I'll try until it doesn't fail anymore. Still fails. In the meantime, I will try npm run dev to see if he's able to get my... Okay, so the MCP server is connected and maybe I could try to use it, but it would be nice if I'm able to have the test running because it seems he doesn't understand how to work with the SDK. Okay. Again, so come on, it doesn't understand something. The test is still not working. Are you sure you know how to use the model context protocol library? Do you need more example? I can find it for you if you want. So, is he able to understand when he needs my help or not? Because at some point you enter error loop and you never goes out of it by just keeping the AI and tell him fix this. No, he needs some fresh input to break out of the error loop. So, but also jump back to using. Let's revert. And I mean, creating an MCP server should be pretty straightforward because, as you can see, you have only one file. You have not a lot of dependencies, not a lot of files to look at. So I think it's really a simple stuff to get right for an AI. Yeah, just have one file to ingest, some context, not that much, and it should be able to handle this case. Still not working. So what's happening? What's the error? Testing cannot find module SDK. That's crazy. It should be installed. How is it possible? Why it doesn't find it? While the server it's okay, SDK server stdio, server MCP server. Come on, look at yes to get the import right. So is it able to? I think it's better. It looks better. But I mean, come on, to result request handle extra. Yeah, this doesn't work. So okay, that's better. What is it doing? Yeah, we're going in circle. Yeah, you're right, Gemini. We are going in circle. What are you doing? To result request handle extra. And I'm wondering if the linter is not triggering some faults and edits that shouldn't happen because it's too fast. Yeah, I mean, he's editing, get some linting error, and trying to circle back and fix it while it's still editing. I don't know. Sometimes it feels kind of wrong. We're hitting a to result. Okay, however, the message. So that's interesting. What's he doing? Keeps trying to edit. Look at how much we are consuming tokens, circling back and again. And I believe this will be interesting. This may work. Let's accept. I'm vibe coding here. Let's go with the flow. Oh, look at that. It's working. Great. So, I mean, it's working. I haven't looked at the test. So what are the tests about? So we have handle create post. Okay, interesting. Pause attack, content markdown. So that's looking good. The MCP is running, so I will try to look at it. Create post, title, content markdown. I just want to make sure that and we'll see with him. It's creating the post, but in draft mode. I will ask him to fix this, maybe. Make sure the post we create is always in draft mode. We sure don't want to create a published one, just to make sure before we test right away. To make sure, again, I will check the API, the reference documentation, so I'm sure that we don't right away publish something. Create post, parameters, do we have a draft? Status, nope. So, status, it's called status, sorry. We don't have a status. From the email settings, content types, custom fields. So maybe it doesn't exist, and maybe it's always in status, like kind of draft, and you're publishing it yourself. So this is a post scheduled at. Maybe it's a scheduled at. Okay, so we don't have. So let's get the documentation again. Here, it seems we don't have status property, and also why? Yeah, just a JSON data, create post schema definition, calls response, post data as any. So you see that's the kind of things we don't really like, because the post data doesn't have any type, so we don't know which kind of data we can put here. It should be better. It would be a lot better if we had a real type object. So both VI and us could know what we can in this data, and that's a question I will ask also. But that's something when you're vibe coding that you don't really care because it works. But when you have a lot of any type, you can have a lot of error during runtime. So it seems we don't have a status property. Look at the doc. Also, I see that we are using any for the post data. Can we use, if it's possible and if it does exist in the SDK of Beehiiv, post data type? Can you look for it? So it didn't find exported type. I will try to look it in the documentation of Beehiiv. Beehiiv request, Beehiiv for automation, Beehiiv error, retries, timeout, fetch client. So I will just look into it. Beehiiv client. Maybe we have some post data. No. So let's look at the Beehiiv client. Beehiiv API. I'm not interested in this. Types. Here's the types. And that's what we want. Export interface. Export. Post create. ID. Okay. Okay. So there's just the interface after post. So I think this is this one I want to add. Can I hide this documentation like this? No, come on, I want the pass. I want to add the file. Here's the type. Can you use it? Maybe I should explain to him that it's exported from there. SDK API types. Is he able to understand? Okay. Body content. So you see, is able also to better understand the structure that we have to create a post data. Great, but can you import the type? It's exported to from Beehiiv, I believe. So, for example, where is Beehiiv? Beehiiv client. It was Beehiiv. This one is good, and maybe we can do what I'm doing. I meant. Types. Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but it's. I want the types, so I can directly get post directly. I should be able to do client and post. I believe it should work. Okay. No, not a TypeScript expert. No, it's not referring. No, Beehiiv. So it's exporting everything under Beehiiv. Types, and so I'm not vibe coding anymore. What's import export interface post? So it should work. No. Can you import the type? The post is exported as in interface up to Beehiiv client, Beehiiv. Okay, maybe, oh, my bad. Need to import Beehiiv. This may work also, so let's see. Good, so, and then use the type, please. Use the post type now that you have it to define the create post power anymore. It should be a lot better. Let's see, so it's cool. Does the server still run? So it's okay. I want him to update the test. Can you update the test to follow the same pattern and test the new post data payload? Because I believe if I run the test, it should crash. No, why doesn't it crash? What kind of payload is sending? Oh, content markdown. So it already, no, body content. Oh my. Oh yeah, because it's not, again, it's probably not using create post args, create post schema, and content markdown, of course. So everything is wrong here, and that's why the test is passing what it shouldn't. If the AI would have used types from the start, the test would have been better. So you see, in that case, if I wasn't aware of how it works, basically, I think for someone who's not coding, I think you would end up in an error loop. All right. So what's happening now? But content markdown. Sorry, content markdown should. What? So basically, it's telling me that body content. How can it work? Seriously, how can it work? We put in the post data body contents, but the create post args should have body content as well. Oh no, it's using content markdown. Okay, I understand what's happening. Interesting. But you know, the post data, even in the test, should comply to the type post, like it does in the server. So what thing really cool, like you're coding this way, is the dictation. You should definitely use a tool, either of course alter, but you can use others. You have plenty of different solutions for that, but dictation is really cool when you are vibe coding. It's super efficient. Okay, so payload, let's break it down. Yeah, okay, not really agree with that, but anyway, that's a cool test. The MCP is running. Maybe we can try to use it with Claude. I haven't tried. Let's see. I haven't tried to use MCP server with Claude Code. So maybe this is the time. So let's go. Code here. Test MCP with Claude. I think, I believe it's like that. Do you trust? Yes. Okay. So it's a new repo. Just create a fake readme. Yes. Now, I believe we can set up MCP. Run Claude MCP to configure Claude MCP. My server. Choose. So my server is called MCP Beehiiv. Choose where the server will be. Yes, command line process. I believe that's how we are connected to start your server. My server is started, but okay. So maybe I will ask it. Can you give me the command to start this server so I can use it with Claude Code? And see, I can just show him what it's asking from me. Let's see if it understands what kind of stuff. So yeah, can you prefix with the Beehiiv key and fill it with what I have? I'm a bit lazy here. I hoped he was looking into the .env, but no. So I will do it here. So I need to check. Don't look. No. What was my no fail? So this is the key and this is we need to pass this here, confirm. So now can I do a save first list, sorry, Claude MCP list, okay, and how does it work now? Get details about, okay, so MCP get MCP Beehiiv, and now I'll just send me the power out. And if I do Claude MCP serve, what's happening? Nothing. So I believe this is for maybe using Claude as a MCP server. So I will try to start Claude now. MCPs, Beehiiv run Claude MCP. Yeah, I mean, and if I run from it, how does it start by itself? Let's look. So let's run Claude with MCP debug. I said MCP debug. Okay. Yeah, failed. Connection closed. Why? Yeah. What's logs? Okay, what's happening? What? Log files are also saved in. So why doesn't it work? What's happening here? Do we have something here? Oh, it's a directory. Okay, my bad. Let's go. Let's see what's. It's again a directory. What's the last one? Cat MCP logs. What does it mean? Unable to connect with Claude. Okay. Can I check myself with a simple command to run on bash? I mean, just to check if my server is correctly running. And I will need to go, so be quick on that. Let's run it. So what happened? Startup logs from copy. Let's run it from here. Sorry, what? Oh, echo. Oh, come on. Okay. So I'm not at the right place here. Okay, MCP. What interesting. And I mean, sending it like here. Okay, I mean, it can't work because it's not using the environment variable. But still, we have something unexpected here, I believe. Starting Beehiiv MCP server. So of course we'll run the command again, but with the right npx command. Let's see, this will be better. And let's see, again invalid type. So something is wrong with the server. And this is interesting. What? Try again. Okay, so we'll try with come on, what's happening? Oh, you don't like this. Echo. Here's the result. Here's the result. Oh, connection. Why? So what's happening? I definitely have internet. Come on. So sorry guys, cursor gave up. So I believe something is wrong with the implementation, maybe of the MCP server. I don't really know what's happening. Maybe I can ask. Okay, I will ask Alter to see if it's my internet connection or something else. Okay, I'm working on an MCP server, and I got this error when I tried to communicate with it. Can you explain to me what the error code message 32603 means? Is it something with my implementation? Okay, let's see if it works better. Cursor for this one. So it's in French because my alter is currently set up to generate text in French. So it's internal error from my MCP server. It means the data I received from the echo command is not good. So maybe it's not my MCP server, it's the JSON RPC command. So I will ask it to fix echo. Can you fix the echo command? It was just to check if my MCP server was running and if I'm able to communicate with it. For example, just want to list the functions, the tools available from this MCP server. Let's try with this one and see if it behaves a bit better. So it's running. So I will need to check with Claude why the MCP server is not able to connect to, maybe it's not able to run it. That's the first time I do it, so we need to check some documentation. Thought it was more straightforward. So I can try this one, method not found. So yeah, it's not implemented, and that's maybe that I'm missing some endpoints on the server. connected. Okay, so maybe you have some endpoints not client register. I need to check that. Anyway, that's good. So at least it's better than Manus at the time, because we have a running MCP server, likely able to create Beehiiv posts. And so we'll see next time how to go from here, to be able to connect to Cloud Code, for example, and create our first post on Beehiiv with this server. So that was a good hour trying to set up this server. And we'll see the next vibe coding session next time. Bye, guys.